Here's Bert Ward.
Hello, citizens. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. How are you?
Put a background on here so that more crime fighting suitable here.
I like it. I like the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's see here if this will work. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. That's fantastic.
Perfect.
That is fantastic.
How are you guys, huh? Okay.
Good. How are you doing?
Great. Well, you know what they say: the first 100 years are the hardest.
That's what my wife says. So where are you in the world, Bert?
Southern California, a little horse town called Norco, last western town in America, halfway between Los Angeles and Palm Springs, where horses have the right of way over cars. Every property has to have a horse trail in front of it or behind it. All the buildings, commercial buildings, have to have horse tie-ups with a Western theme in the structure of the building. And they have all kind of animals here that are amazing that you can have, like camels and emus and all kinds of things. Not wild animals, but, not your typical domestic animals.
Now, don't tell me you have horses.
Is the Pope Catholic?
Well, because I live on a horse ranch myself, my friend.
Yeah, well, I do. We don't have a lot of property. We've got about 5 acres here in the heart of the city, but it's enough to. We do have right now. We have one horse. We actually had several, but we have more than.
What kind of horse?
American Standard bred. It pulls our Surrey.
Sure.
We have I drive the Surrey, but we've had different horses. Actually, with Horse Aid, I rescued some horses, but my wife and I. Oh, look at that. That's not a horse. That is a poop.
It's kind of a horse.
I can understand that. Yeah, we've got more than 50 in our house.
I know.
I know. Giant is what that is.
Yeah, we've gone to the dogs literally.
Hey, sit.
But we love our dogs, and it's actually become our life's work. We've rescued.
I know. Well, so let's get into this a little bit here.
Okay.
Okay.
Andy, kick it off. Andy.
Andy.
I should bring mine over. Wallace, come here.
Some people say the blues is just a good man feeling bad. I don't know about you, that's not the kind of blues I have. I'm a bad man. Woo! I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm a bad man. Let's get that understood.
Let me tell you what we have for you today. This is fantastic. So everybody in the world that is our age watched Batman and Robin. We have Robin. Bert Ward is here.
Woo! Unbelievable.
Hello, citizens.
Oh my gosh. Bert Ward, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to be here. My gosh, you've got such a fantastic show, and you reach all around the world.
We do. We do it one dog at a time, like you do.
Well, I might say we have a little more than one at a time. You've got like more than 50.
Who you got there with you?
This is Wallace. She's an Irish wolfhound. We actually have rescued more than 15,500 of them.
Wow.
We have a minimum of 50 in our house. And what's really cool about them is that because we've devoted our lives to rescuing animals, that we've got, in the case of dogs, them living up to 27 and a half years, running around like puppies in their 20s. No one in the world can do that.
I want to ask you about that because with your dog food, Gentle Giant, first of all, I want to find out what are the top 5 ingredients in Gentle Giant, and I'll tell you why I asked that. My wife that's not my wife. I promise. My wife is a horse trainer, but she's also, she likes to research dog food and everything. She said, make sure you ask, what are your top 5 ingredients in the dog food?
Okay, well, meat is first, okay? And then our dog food is broken into 2 different kinds. Well, 3 different proteins, but 2 different kinds, grain-free and non-grain-free. Okay, if we have the grain free, of course, it has the fruits and vegetables. If it's grain, and the meats we have are chicken, which comes from Tyson,
Right.
that's where, one of the biggest producers for humans food is Tyson.
Right.
We have real beef with real bacon. Okay. And we have wild caught salmon from Alaska, which is fantastic. It's actually 4 times the cost of regular salmon because it's the finest salmon in the world. And then like I said, our ingredients are fruits and vegetables. That when we have the grains, we have brown rice, oatmeal, flaxseed. But this is more than just those ingredients. There's a lot
delicious.
to it. Yeah. You don't have dogs living to 27 and a half years, still running around like puppies in their mid 20s.
I have some here. We're going to do a
And
live.
there's the bag.
Hey, wowie zowie.
We're going to do a live taste test. Wags.
Okay. Are you going to be, or that pooch of yours?
No. He's going to try some. Oh, look at this. Loves it. Loves it.
Actually, I have some right here too. You're not going to try some? It's real bacon, Randy.
Actually, I have some.
There you go.
And I have to tell everybody,
Oh my
it is
God,
magical.
That is
'Cause I'm
delicious.
In dog years, I'm like, or human
Oh
years,
my
I'm
God.
108.
That is delicious.
I'm 108, Randy.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh, you guys are really wild and crazy. I thought we were wild and crazy on Batman.
Hey, okay, let's talk about Batman. So, how much sex was there?
Oh, wow, Randy.
Batman and
Randy.
Robin don't have sex. They're antiseptic. They're pure.
Yeah, right.
I mean, every mothers would love to have Dick Grayson.
Listen, I've read your book. I know about the bat pole.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that's a very dangerous thing. It almost cost me my life.
Now you did your own stunts, didn't you?
Not by choice. Let me explain to you. What happened was, very first day, first episode that they.
No,
what
you're
they had
19. Are you 19 or 20?
I was 20 and a half going on Batman.
Okay. All right.
Right. And so the first day, first shot, 7 o'clock in the morning, in costume, in makeup. They say, Bert, you got to go in the Bat Cave. We're going to drive out the Batmobile, and we're going to come out at about 55 miles an hour. You're going to make this sharp turn. There's a sign that's going to pop up after you drive off that says Gotham City, 14 miles. I said, okay, fine. So I go in there, and because it's dark in the cave, you really
Right.
can't see too well, right? So I'm in the cave, and I get in the Batmobile, and I look over, and I think it's Adam because he's in costume. But you know
Right.
how you can sense when it's really somebody different? And I said,
I know.
yeah. And he said, no, I'm Hubie. I said, oh, why isn't Adam here? He says, because this is a very dangerous stunt. And the studio doesn't want to take a chance of Adam West getting hurt. I said, well, that's a good thing.
I'm Bert Ward. I'm in here too.
Well, wait a minute. So I say to him, I say, well, is it really dangerous? He says, let me tell you something. In my business, the more broken bones you get, the more money you make. Not kidding. The real thing. I said, oh my gosh. And I said, well, wait a minute. Do I have a stuntman? Oh yeah, you got one. Oh, I said, well, that's great. Where is he? Oh, he's having coffee with Adam West last time I saw him. I said, having coffee with Adam West? And I could hear him say, shut it up. Like the thing, roll it up, get ready to shoot, right? And so they get ready to shoot. I'm calling, wait a minute. I think there's a mistake. And they come, what's the matter, Bert? Well, this man tells me it's a dangerous shot. Yeah. Well, I mean, and he tells me that Adam West, that they don't want him to get hurt, so they got a stuntman. Yeah, we know that. Well, they said, I have a stuntman, but he's not here. He's having coffee with Adam. So that's right. I said, well, why is that? We can't use him. You can't use him? Why can't you use him? He doesn't look like you. Oh my God, you hire a stuntman to be my stuntman. He doesn't look like me, so I have to do my own stunts. We couldn't find anybody else. And so as a result, came out at 55 miles an hour. And by the way, with the Batmobile, there isn't anything really to hold on to.
Yeah.
There's no handle on the inside of the door, because remember, this is set up to film, not to drive and enjoy.
Right.
And there is no seat belts. Okay, later on we filmed a special thing for seat belts. But I've got this thin 1/4 of an inch plexiglass for me to hold on to, and this guy, he's dying to get some more broken bones. I mean, that's probably another $5,000 in his pocket. So we come out at 55 miles an hour, make the sharp left turn, and unexpectedly, my door flies open. My door flies open and knocks the cameraman off the camera truck. That's serious. Knocked an arc lamp. These giant lamps. They don't use them anymore because they have cooler lights. Knocked it over. If it fell on somebody,
I remember those giant.
would have killed him. And what happened with me is I was thrown to the door and just I threw my hand behind me, right? And I luckily caught my little finger around the gear shift knob that kept me from falling out, but it pulled this finger right out of joint.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've ever had that happen. You don't want it. It's really painful. So they stopped the car. There's dust everywhere.
I was never in the
Batmobile. They grabbed me. Bert, are you okay? I said, yeah, but my hand's killing me. And it's through the glove. It's twice as big, right? And I said, and they said, we got to get you to hospital. I said, okay, well, where's the car to take me? Oh, we can't take you now. Why not? We didn't get the shot.
Action.
Oh my God.
Why do I have to pay
gosh.
$30,000 every 10 minutes? With a crew of 80. We can't go now.
Oh my God.
All right, well, when do I go? Well, when we get the shot. That was at 7:30 in the morning. I left at noon for the hospital. And that was the first of 4 days in a row in the emergency hospital. I didn't think I was going to survive the first week, but the studio, were they smart? They took out this multi-million-dollar life insurance policy.
Oh yeah, sure. Of course.
And by the end of the third season, I could swear they were trying to collect.
You know, this just occurred to me that this is perfect for Zoom, because that's one of the main words that we would always see on the screen.
Yeah.
Watching Batman.
Yeah.
Right? Bang, Zoom.
Pow, zaps,
Zoom.
all of that. Yeah,
Pow,
tremendous graphics. Exactly.
You know, you think about the celebrities that were a part of Batman that they were dying to be in the show, right?
Right, and there's only one villain a week, although the third season they had kind of a combination.
Right.
So what they did, because there was such a demand, they created this walking up the building where the window would open.
Sammy Davis Jr.
First
Sammy
Davis Jr., Don Ho, Jerry Lewis,
Right.
Earl Klink, Lurch, Betty White. I mean, a whole ton of people.
Betty White, the Gold
Exactly.
Girls.
Dick Clark, all these people, they would have some question, and it was, pretty cool. And this way they got on the show.
All right, so let's get to your book for a second, because the only copy that I could find today online was $134.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's called My Life in Tights.
Yes.
And
By the way, you can look at the cover and you can truly judge this book by
yes,
itself.
you can. Yes, you can. And you talk about
It comes with 3D
Come on.
glasses, right?
Batman and Robin are going to have some followers, and they did all the time, right?
Yes, that's true. That's true. Well, we were very concentrated on being very good to our fans.
Yeah. You were very good, and your fans were very good to you, it seems.
Oh, listen, I tell you, it was a mutual appreciation society.
So this is funny, Bert. I had a groupie that wrote a book on several years ago, and she was with every band, everything, and she told me, she said, Peter Frampton was the.
Oh, this is Connie. That's in American. Grand Funk Railroad. Connie.
That's right, Grand Funk Railroad, and she said Peter Frampton was the smallest and Huey Lewis was the biggest. Was there anything written about you and Adam in that regard?
Well, we had a little bit of a scandal on Batman with the Catholic Legion of Decency. They felt that because of the costume, look, let's be honest. Man was not built for tights, right?
Sure.
Okay.
And just to prove that point, I appear at the Renaissance Festival every year in my Renaissance name of Leotardal Protrusion. So
there you go. There you go. Well, in my case, there was an issue. It became a larger issue over time. And
I heard about this.
But the bottom line is that, the Catholic Legion of Decency at the time was upset that there was a bulge in Robin's shorts. And of course, the wardrobe people, they were thrilled to try every contraption you can imagine, including penal restraints.
But you were endorsed by the Sausage League.
I don't know about that, but I will tell you
heard.
this. The ultimate thing was they gave me, they found this quack doctor that gave me these pills, and they would shrink you up for 24 hours. And after 3 days, I got a little worried that maybe I might not ever have children. So I decided to not forego the pills and use my cape to cover.
That's why I wear a cape. A lot of people wonder. They always ask me. They go, "Why the cape?" And I said, "Well, it's from Dark Shadows."
Yeah,
Broadcast
and
man.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
You know, Bert, I think the rock band Kiss, that I don't know if they're really the best musicians in the world, but I think they took a page out of your playbook. They thought, see what Type
Yeah.
did for these guys?
Yeah, you never know. But I tell you, we really had a great time on Batman. I mean, it was probably the worst costume in the world to wear, most uncomfortable thing I've ever been in.
The bravest costume ever.
Oh, I mean, but everything hurt. I mean, but
Yeah.
you know, on the other hand, to ride in the Batmobile, to climb walls, to fight villains, and a piece of trivia for you: I lived in the same condominium complex as Bruce Lee, and Bruce and I were friends. Yes, in fact, we would go down to Chinatown. I remember when Linda,
I'll
his
take you
wife,
down to
was
Chinatown.
6 months old, and we'd go into LA down to Chinatown because Bruce had lived in Hong Kong for 10 years. He knew all the most authentic food to order. But a piece of trivia is that Bruce Lee's first filmed fight scene of his career was fighting me.
Really?
On Batman, yeah.
Wow.
And let me tell you something. He became by far the most famous cinematic martial artist ever.
Did you ever get tired of hearing, "Don't take that position
Oh, you're talking about Adam.
with me"?
Oh, no, my dear friend Adam. Listen, I loved Adam.
Oh, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate you.
Oh, yes. Let me just tell you about my dear friend Adam West. He was a very smart man. He understood the concept of television, that when to be on network television, there was 8 minutes of commercials and 22 minutes of programming. And
Yeah.
the slower he talked, the longer that camera was stayed on him, right? The longer the camera stayed
That's
on him.
exactly right.
That's right. And therefore, the less it was on somebody else. So I would have a line like, gosh, Batman, right? And he, instead of letting me have my line, gosh, Batman, I'd say, gosh, yes, you're right, Robin. Robin. And he'd just hold it. Then he would turn from the two shot and walk right up to the camera, and they'd say, cut, Adam, this is a two shot. You can't hug. You're blocking everything. We can't see the bird. We can't see the set. Oh, I had to do it. I was in the moment.
Okay, hey, let's try this out. Randy, do your voice. Robin, you weigh in. I'm just going to move my mouth. So let's
Hey,
do a scene together.
Yeah, you start a sentence there, if you will, Bert. Can't you
Golly gee,
understand?
Batman.
Why would you interrupt a thought process
Yes.
having Robin? And why is that man wearing a mask
Oh.
that he doesn't have to?
Exactly. Let me tell you, my dear friend, he thought he was a combination of Winston Churchill and other famous people. He did say to me one time, though, he really understood what it was to play Batman after watching Charlton Heston as Moses in the
Oh
Ten
my
Commandments,
gosh!
receiving the
Oh my
word of God.
That's right.
I mean,
That's
Moses
right.
parted the
That
Red
man
Sea.
received the 10 Commandments.
Adam had a very big ego.
You know, Bert,
Be written.
you're a pretty cool guy. I mean, I think you've developed into a pretty cool guy. I mean, you've spent your life doing what you're doing, and
Yeah.
after being Robin, there's not much more that, I mean, seriously, I know you did a lot after that, but it's like, man, you're really typecast, and now you got into the dog food business, which I think is fantastic, and you've adopted all these dogs. What a great kind of transition in your life.
Yeah, but can I tell you something? It's almost the same thing. And I know that sounds like, how can you say that? In Gotham
That sounds
City,
like, how can you say this?
yes, but in Gotham City, we were saving lives. This is no different. I'm still saving lives. They're not Gotham City citizens. They're
Right.
canine lives. In fact, I like to say that I was the Caped Crusader, and now I'm the Canine Crusader.
Don't you? Oh, you.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. And also now we are coming out with our cat food. But here's the whole thing. We started saving lives in 1994 because these dogs were being put to death left and right because
Yeah.
every breed of dog has a rescue. Okay, so there's a Chihuahua rescue, there's a Great Dane rescue, there's a Pit Bull rescue. Every breed has a rescue. But the person who had been rescuing Great Danes in Southern California herself had died. And all these beautiful dogs that were in people's homes, but they had to give them up, for one reason or another, divorce, loss of
or
anyway,
space.
They would go to the shelter and they're killed immediately because there's not enough room in shelters. And in shelters, all the dogs are barking. And who's going to take out a giant dog that is barking in a cage when, you think you might get hurt? Bottom line is, I said to my wife, Tracy, I said, look, this is the first week in August, 1994, just for 2 weeks. Just till I find somebody else to take this over. Let's not let these dogs die. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. It's been 26 years. I'm a patient person, but I'm still waiting for the person to come rescue me. However, by the end of the first month, 102 Great Danes in my house. 102.
Now wait a minute. 102 Great Danes in your house?
Yes. Every dog we've had here, all 15,500.
Can you give me the square footage of your house, please?
15,000 square feet. But don't let that deceive you, because they don't go everywhere. They only go where we are.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so, but here's the whole thing. 102 full-size Great Danes, 62 puppies under 7 weeks of age at the same time. Wow. Okay, my wife is sleeping on the floor in the kitchen because—
No, your wife is not sleeping anywhere.
Well, no, but you have to for a few minutes, because what happens, the mother gets up from nursing. Great Danes, if they step on their puppies, they kill them. I mean, and accidentally. So every single dog has to be disconnected, and the puppy's reconnected with the next litter. It's a huge problem. Anyway, my gosh. We did all of this, and because they only live short lives, used to live only short lives, 7 to 9 years, when we would lose one, it would destroy us emotionally. So we said, maybe we can do something to help them live longer. So the first thing we did is, having had now 15,000, but even after the first couple of hundred, we started to find things that worked in terms of the way you feed them, the way you care for them. We feed and care for dogs differently than anybody I'm sure you ever spoken to.
Sure.
And then we got to a point where we said, okay, we've added 3 more years on average to every dog's life. That's pretty tremendous. Okay, 3 years by the way we feed and care. Why don't we just maybe make our own food? We can afford to get the best food in the world. Maybe we can pull out another year or 2. Right. Well, guess what we found? When we went to make the food, we found out something so upsetting. It changed our lives forever. And when I tell you this, you're never going to be the same.
Okay? I'm bracing myself.
Okay, because here you are asking about ingredients. You got to be wondering, how can this one person and his wife have dogs living 2 and 3 times the normal lifespan?
We had a dog,
but running around. But so I'm going to tell you,
the oldest dog that we ever had was how old?
16.
16 years old.
Okay, every dog I have here now, and by the way, I have more than 50 in my house right now, but you don't hear a word because they're all trained not to bark unless they sense danger. But let me explain how we do it.
Well, then that's wrong, because we are very dangerous, Bert.
Yes. Yeah. My dogs don't think so.
Should be barking.
So let me tell you how we do it, because this is real. So here's what we found out. Every dog food company knows something the average person doesn't know, which is the more fat content you put in dog food, the hungrier it makes dogs. This is all about money.
I've got a confirmation on that. Yes.
So here's what you do. Here, and I'll give you a human example. Remember about 10 years ago, a guy named Morgan Spurlock went into a McDonald's in Ohio.
Sure.
He ate every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack for a month.
Good.
He gained 55 pounds and he almost died. They made a movie, Super Size Me.
Right.
Content in the food. Whatever food you've been feeding, you go look on the back of the bag. It's not the ingredients, which the panel next to it that tells you the real truth, the guaranteed analysis. You look at the percentage of protein and percentage of crude fat. It says crude fat. It doesn't say healthy fat. Why does it say crude fat? It's the saturated fats. It's the bad fats. And you'll find that just about every dog food sold in the United States has 12 to 22% crude fat.
Wow.
We don't add extra fat. Ours has only what's naturally in it, which is about 9%. But there's something even worse. Okay, here's what's really worse. Go feel the outside of any dog food with your fingers. Just pick up a couple of kibbles, rub them in your fingers, put them down, and rub your fingers together and see if you don't feel that slightly greasy feeling. Now, if you're not sure you feel it, always stick your hand down the bag, which I really don't recommend. You're going to really feel it on the inside of the bag below the level.
They'll throw you right out of Tractor Supply.
Right. But here's the key thing. Here's how deadly this is. This is really deadly, my friends. Think of it this way. Would you take bacon grease or animal fat and pour it down your garbage disposal at home? Would you do that? No, because you know, unlike water that evaporates, animal fat coagulates. And when it hardens, it's like cement. You'd be buying yourself a new garbage disposal. So here's my point. When you realize that animal fat will ruin a metal garbage disposal, what do you think is happening to the arteries and intestines of the dog you love when every single bite, every single meal, every single kibble is encapsulated in animal fat?
Interesting you use the word kibble.
Yes. And in addition to that,
Kibbles in bed.
Exactly. Well, but let me tell you something. Here's the key thing, though. You might say, well, okay, but if I've been feeding every of this food to my dog, now I'm feeding your food. How's it going to clear up the problem? How's it going to? Let me tell you. I want to tell you how it clears up the problem.
Okay.
God did something wonderful for us. He made dogs' bodies and animals' bodies actually reject the fat out of their intestines. Okay, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, the difference between our food and everybody else's that I'm aware of, okay, is that when the fat comes out of the dog, the other companies, they're putting the fat right back in.
Yeah.
And their sales are maybe 30 or 40% higher because the dogs are eating more. All right. We don't put the fat back in their bodies. So now you have pure nutrition that is going through their arteries, intestines, nourishing the entire body. Huge difference.
This is what and the dog food is called Gentle Giant. But this is the thing that really amazes me is that when I was a kid, and I'm sure when you were a kid, Bert and Michael, people didn't know as much about dogs, obviously, as they do now. And they would feed the dogs anything. Remember Alpo?
Yep.
Remember Alpo? I mean, we would be like, we would be feeding Alpo and my dad would be feeding the dogs table scraps or whatever. And the dogs did seemingly okay. Now, they probably didn't live to, they obviously didn't live to 26, 27. But it is just amazing to me how that progression has come along with Rachel Ray and your stuff and was it Blue and
but here's the interesting thing, my friend. I think the food of yesteryear was better for the dogs than it was today.
Kind of like bread.
Wow.
Let me tell you exactly how.
Well, Michael Seward is entranced by that.
All right, so let me tell you how. Okay. All right. We have a video on our website of veterinarians. We didn't produce the video. They have all these prominent veterinarians across the country. And here's what they're all basically saying, that in the past, they would see 1 or 2 customers or patients a month that had cancer. Now they're seeing 4 to 5 a week. Yeah. What's the difference? GMOs in the food, genetically modified organisms in the food.
I do believe that.
We have no GMOs in our food, okay? We have no chemicals, no preservatives. We make pure nutrition. And I feed 600 pounds a day of this dog food to our dogs. 600 pounds, that's 16 bags a day, every single day. And the key thing that we designed also is that we realized part of how, if you want to know how dogs also live longer, think of it this way. The average dog by the time it's 7 or 8 years old starts to have a problem getting up, starts to have a problem walking. And within 2 or 3 years, that dog can't get up anymore. And that's when people take it to the vet to have it euthanized, even though the dog is mentally perfectly alert. And the dog trusts you. It would never believe you're taking it to be put to death. Right. So how is it that our dogs are running around like puppies in their mid-20s when other people's dogs can't get up anymore?
What is the website? What is the website?
GentleGiantsDogFood.com. And there's on the website, there's a GentleGiantsDogFood.com. There's a special section called Special Feeding and Care Program. But here's what I just conveyed to you. Just think of it this way. Wherever you live, if you had a drought, your local government might apportion or reduce the amount of water. Here's what happens with dogs. Their bodies aren't designed as well as ours. Their bodies wear out quicker than ours.
Sure.
So what do? We reduce the stress on their body by the way we care for them so that their energy lasts longer. As an example, when you feed your beautiful dog you have there, do you put your bowl and water on the floor or do you elevate it?
I mean,
You should elevate. That's what you should do, right,
We
Bert?
usually just put it on the floor.
Or let me tell you something. Think of it this way, right? Think of it that your dog only has so much energy in life. It's kind of like on Batman. Remember the famous hourglass? You turn it over and the sands of time are running out. Well, there's only so much energy. So what happens every day? Your dog comes over to eat, bends down to get the food, up and down, bends down to get a drink, up and down. You're prematurely wearing the dog's body out. How many times a day do you feed your dog?
Let me tell my wife something. You're a monster. You're a monster.
I don't believe that. Some
Hey,
dogs.
hey, can I interject one thing?
Sure.
So I am now fixated on one thing you said, which is 600 pounds of food per day.
Yeah.
And here's my idea
That's
for
not
you.
that's not what Bert eats.
No, that's what our dogs eat.
Yeah.
I can't help but think there's a promotional opportunity after watching Tiger King. It's got to be the Canine and Cat King reality show with Burt Ward and Gentle Giants. Who's not gonna watch that? Holy for Batman!
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny you should say about Tiger King. We actually have people that use our food for animals other than dogs, including wild animals. And there is a tiger reserve in Florida that actually feeds Gentle Giants to their tigers.
Huh. Well, you guys are in you're in Target, you're in Petco, you're
Walmart.
in Walmart. Man,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's smart.
Number one, congratulations on getting it out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And congratulations on the research that you've done and all of that. It reminds me of a song, Andy.
Boy wonder, I love you. Boy wonder, I love you. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hi kids, it's me, your pal, the Boy Wonder. Taking this opportunity to catch up on my fan mail. Even as a Boy Wonder, it's really hard to read all the tons of mail I get. Here is a happy letter from someone just about your age. Dear, cute, wonderful, fabulous, magnificent, exquisite Boy Wonder. A cold chill runs up my spine every time I see you sock a villain. And oh, how I cry when you're even scratched. Please don't send me a mimeograph copy of interesting facts about you. I want your handwriting.
You recorded that song with Frank Zappa.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the mothers of invention.
Yeah.
Did you ever see what they look like?
Tell me of just anything about that.
Oh, I'll tell you everything about it. I met Frank Zappa. I took one look at him and said, oh my God. And let me tell you something. That man was so brilliant. He was
brilliant. He was very brilliant.
Oh, I mean, he was a genius. We got along incredibly well. But you know, to look at him and then to look at these mothers of invention, his group would come out, play the music, and they would tear up everything. They would tear up their couches. They would tear up their microphones. They would bang their guitars they destroyed everything. And here I am, little all-American apple pie Boy Wonder, you know, that every mother would want their child to go out on a date with. And I'm with you. Holy contrast, Batman.
That was hysterical. You did 2 songs with him, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, actually, I did an album with them. But I cannot sing. You know, like Clint Eastwood said in Dirty Harry, a man has to know his limitations. I cannot sing, all right?
Bert, you are a treasure. Thank you so much for taking the time. We really so appreciate your time. And people need to check out the dog food, but check out Burt Ward. He's such a great guy. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, I thank you. Did you have something to say? You were going to add
Well,
something.
Bert, I just want to tell you again what some don't know when you get the dog food at Target. This really got my attention. Is my son, who's a huge Batman fan, has had this Adam West autograph.
Oh, wow.
Now he keeps that on the top shelf of this glass etagere. And when I was able to come home after turning in a receipt after buying Gentle Giant's dog food with
You
a
got one of my
personalized-
photos. Oh yeah, but let me tell you, that is isn't that amazing? The color of that is on metallic paper. It is like
Beautiful.
really beautiful. Yeah, and we give those away free for everybody. You know, we kind of want to do something during the COVID virus. People
Right.
they got to feed their dogs, but so we decided. We said to Target, hey, how about anybody picks up a bag, we'll give them a free color photograph from my
Oh,
series.
that's cool.
We printed it up, we package it, we send it to them. And let me tell you something, the only thing that turned out unexpectedly, I was expected to do a couple hundred. I've done thousands. I've got
Oh, yeah.
severe body cramps among
Sure.
my many other cramps signing these autographs. And I've signed 8.5 million autographs in
Oh, wow.
20, what is it, 54 years and 7,000 appearance. There's my poor paw signing that autograph.
Thank
Hey,
you.
what is the weirdest Batman and Robin merchandise item that you've ever seen?
Ooh, I don't know. I kind of like my Robin underoos, but I don't know. There are some pretty wild and crazy things, but those things were, I guess, not the big sell. I tell you what, very current one. I forgot. They've got a COVID mask. Not only do they have a Batman, they've got a COVID-19 Robin mask. In fact, a couple of different styles of it.
That's what I need. That's what I need.
Exactly. And
All
I'll
right.
send you a pair of tights if you'd like. You'll have a wonderful time. I hope you enjoy them as much as I did.
Are they used?
Yeah, they might be used, but they're not messed up.
Bert,
They've
thank
got
you so
6
much.
different pairs of them for you to try on.
Fly, Robin, fly. Come on, Randy.
Thank you, man.
Sky.
Citizens,
Thank you so much.
thank you guys. Take care.
Bert, you're wonderful.
Well, thank you. You guys
Hey,
are pretty
you're
wonderful too. You guys are like your own dynamic duo.
I know.
Why don't you have costumes, guys?
Well, except Michael and I are not attracted to each other like you and Adam.
Oh, we weren't attracted to each other than crime fighters. We are, I mean, let me tell you something. If you're a crime fighter, your heart is pure. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, I think you've got a few things that are pure.
Yeah. You guys are wild and crazy. I'm telling
Bert,
you.
thank you so much, man.
All right. Thank you, guys. God bless. Take care.
You too. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bert.
Bye-bye. Signing off.
RandyMillerRadio.com